Without further ado, let's begin this enthralling journey with our first speaker of the day, Ms. Sohini Shah. Sohini Shah is the revered RDN certified by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. She holds a degree in food sciences and human nutrition, specializing in dietetics from the University of Florida. With clinical experience from Loyola University Medical Centre, Chicago, she has been practicing in Ahmedabad since 2010. Counseling over 10,000 clients globally, including CEOs, professionals, and celebrities.
She also offers online consultations across the US, UAE, New Zealand, and Europe, specializing in weight management, diabetes, and sports nutrition. She conducts educational workshops for children and parents, designs school and corporate menus, and curates balanced nutrition plans tailored to different age groups. Please join your hands to welcome her.
Future Frontiers, a very good morning and a warm welcome to all of you. Today, I'm here to talk about something that we often take for granted. That is food. Food is not just something that we eat, but also something that energizes us, that nourishes us, and powers every single thing we do, physically, mentally, and even emotionally. I'm here today to help you understand how the lifestyle you live today and how the food you choose today will help to shape your future health, which is why I urge every single one of you to take the responsibility of your own health and wellness very seriously. Let me ask you something. Take a few moments and recollect everything you ate or drank in the last 2 to 3 days that came out of a packet or a box or a package. Take a few moments and recollect everything you ate or drank that came out of a packet or a box or a bottle. Bottle of ketchup, a protein bar, maybe protein powder, something that came out of a packet. I'm not going to put anyone on the spot on this one, but there are many products, right? How many can you count? 2, 5, maybe more, maybe less. What if I tell you that your future health depends on the food plate in front of you? What if I tell you that your future health is a complete reflection of how you eat well and how you live today. You know how they say you are what you eat? That is absolutely true. In the process of making our foods tasty and more enjoyable, we have forgotten the real meaning of food, the real function of food. One of the main functions of food is to provide the body with essential nutrients it needs for growth and survival. When you eat something, the body transforms these essential nutrients into something called ATP. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. This molecule powers every single cell in our bodies. But it's not just about the calories, it's about the nutrition you derive from it, right? For example, 100 calories from almonds and walnuts versus 100 calories from a sugary beverage. They will be absorbed very differently and they will do very different things in your body. They will function very differently in the body. Food directly impacts how your brain and your body performs. A diet that is rich in simple sugars will give you energy spikes and energy crashes, whereas a diet that is rich in complex carbohydrates, which are your slow release carbohydrates, will give you sustained energy through the day, will give you better performance, and even a faster recovery. Let me tell you something. Your brain performance is also directly linked to nutrition. When you eat right, your brain has a better capacity for making clear decisions and it has a better reasoning power. Your brain loves sugar, but not in the form of candy and soda. It survives well, it functions well, and it performs better when you give it the slow release carbohydrates, which we get from whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. Poor nutrition is associated with poor brain health. It is associated with anxiety, it is associated with poor concentration levels, fatigue, and even depression in some cases. Whereas a diet that's rich in essential nutrients, omega-3s, vitamins, and minerals, will give you great concentration levels, a sharp focus, and even a better mood. The consumption of sugary foods and beverages, the consumption of processed foods, and skipping meals, especially breakfast, is therefore linked to poor cognitive health and poor brain health. This is the single most reason why no child should go to school on an empty stomach. When you wake up in the morning, the body needs the energy for its functioning. And there is no way you can concentrate in class, you can pay attention in class, you can grow because you are in the growth phase, and you can meet your nutritional requirements all at the same time when you are hungry. Let us shift gears and talk a little bit about real foods versus packaged foods. Real foods are the foods that are prepared hot and fresh in your own homes, in your kitchens, using local ingredients, using staple ingredients, and using seasonal ingredients. Packaged foods, on the other hand, are processed foods. These foods are loaded with chemical compounds. When we consume these foods, we are also consuming these chemical compounds. These chemical compounds range from emulsifiers, stabilizers, preservatives, taste enhancers, permissible colors, permissible dyes, and many, many more. So when these chemical compounds enter our bodies, they hinder the growth of your brain and the growth of your body. These chemical compounds are also precursors for causing inflammation in our bodies. Can anyone tell me what is junk food? No idea? What is junk food? You can switch the slides. Junk food is called junk food because of its sheer lack of nutrition. It provides you with calories, but does not provide any nutrition. One of the main effects of processed foods is that it causes overweight, or it causes one person to become overweight over a period of time. Junk foods are engineered for overconsumption. They go through thousands of taste trials. Scientists go through thousands of taste trials to make them almost addictive so that the end user consumes them again and again. When there is an influx of extra calories in the body, and the body doesn't know what to do with it, it stores it in the form of fat. And an increased amount of calories over a period of time, an increased amount of accumulated fat over a period of time will lead to overweight and therefore obesity. Today, India is facing a huge crisis in terms of increased incidences of obesity, increased incidences of diabetes in the youth, as young as you guys, and increased incidences of heart conditions such as blood pressure and cholesterol. There is a lot of information available online about what to eat. There are DNA-based diet apps. There are AI-based apps available which generate personalized diet plans for everyone. But why is it that we are still facing a problem of overweight and obesity? Why is it that despite of so much of information available online, why are we not able to choose healthy? Why are we still facing the problem of overweight and obesity? I feel there are many factors that are responsible. One is we have completely lost the traditional food eating practices. The value of traditional food eating habits are getting lost in this era of food delivery services. Our traditional thali, roti, sabzi, dal, chawal, is a very well-balanced plate. But somehow we feel that our palate is made for bhakri pizza. It still contains the bhakri, which is staple, but that plate is not balanced because it lacks a lot of other nutrients. There is a lot of information available online, but there is a lack of knowledge. Also, we feel that we know a lot of these things, which is why we don't approach healthcare practitioners or healthcare experts. There is a lot of information available online, which is why there is a resistance to approach healthcare practitioners or healthcare experts. We have started believing that if something works for someone, it is going to work for us. We have started believing the influencers. If the influencer tells you to go gluten-free, you go gluten-free. But if your grandparent tells you to have a roti with gluten, you feel that they have not evolved, that they still lack knowledge. Right? Isn't it? I want to talk a little bit about, traditional food habits are getting lost. I want to give you 3 examples of the superfoods that exist in our culture and in our kitchens since many, many years. First example, how many of you have had blueberries? A fair show of hands. And how many of you have had jamuns and mulberries? But that's a lesser show of hands. So blueberries come from the West. They come in plastic boxes. And somehow we attach a value to it, which is why all of us have mostly consumed it. Whereas jamuns and sheturs are local to us, they are staple to us, they grow easily, and they're available easily, which is why we feel that we have not attached a value to it. But they're far more nutritious than the blueberries. The second example is turmeric. We all talked about turmeric in the COVID times. We all thought that it has the immunity building properties. And we still do. It still does have the immunity building properties. Now no one's talking about it because COVID is over. Turmeric and curcumin extracts are being exported to other countries for building immunities and building health in other countries. but it's present in our household kitchens. It's used on a daily routine if you have this dal and the sabzi, not the bhakri pizza, right? The third example is ginger juice. Can I share with you that the football team Manchester United uses ginger juice for faster muscle recovery? We have been using ginger in our diets and in our kitchens since many, many years, but we attach a value to it only when people in the West start using it. Manchester United, so ginger is known for a muscle recovery. It's known for its anti-inflammatory properties. And when Manchester United has back-to-back football games, they use ginger juice as a concoction for faster muscle recovery. I want to share about an experience with a 14-year-old boy I consulted. He came to me with a problem of lack of energy. And I assessed the diet, I gave him a diet, made some corrections to his eating habits, but the problem still persisted. He was still low, he was still feeling low energy. I got a blood test done, and we found out that he had iron deficiency anemia. As soon as I supplemented the diet with iron-rich sources and with an iron supplement, his hemoglobin was up, his iron was up, he was able to play better, he was able to run better. Your requirement in this teenage group is just 12 to 15 milligrams of iron per day. That requirement is very, very small, but the impact is huge, right? You can feel fatigue, you can't play, you can't concentrate, and you have muscle weakness if your iron levels are low. Now, as soon as these levels are corrected, your energy levels are fine, physically you are able to push yourself, and you're able to perform better. So the impact of a micronutrient deficiency can be very, very big, which is why I urge every single one of you to focus on real foods and rely on homemade foods. Lastly, but not the least, I would like to talk about the 5 components of good health. The 5 components of good health are nutrition. Rely on balanced nutrition and rely on homemade foods. Second is physical movement. Physical movement and activity. Every single one requires physical movement. Every single one of us requires some activity every day. The only way a human body knows how to utilize and channelize the energy we consume through food is through movement. Third is sleep. Adequate sleep, sleeping at the right time and waking up at the same time every day sets a good circadian rhythm, and it also sets the hormones in place. Rest and recovery are extremely important for the body to recuperate and get energized for the next day to perform better. Fourth is hydration. Every single cell in our body is made up of water, and we need to replace the water that is used on a daily basis, and we need the proper hydration throughout the day. Lastly, but not the least, sunlight. 2 or 3 minutes of sunlight every single day. Solar energy recharges every being on this planet. I would like to take this minute and leave you with this thought that you are responsible for the choices you make. Building your health takes a lot of time, energy, effort, patience, and the right choices. Make the right choices, eat right to live right, to build a better future health. Thank you for your time and attention.
These words were truly mesmerizing. Thank you so much, Sohini ma'am, for these wonderful insights.
Today's event has clearly started off wonderfully.
We would like to present a gift for our speaker, Ms. Sohini Shah. I invite her to come on stage along with our core team member, Ritisha Parikh.